Hello and welcome to all our viewers to the post-match show of the third T20I between India and Australia. And what a game it has been. The news is that India, after a very tough fight between these two very quality sides, has finally managed to bag the game and hence win the series 2-1, which was previously poised at 1-1. And I will take this opportunity to welcome my panelists for tonight, Nishant, Jeet, Arora. Thank you so much, Nishant, for joining. Now, Nishant, in this game, multiple records have been made, too many records broken. So before I delve into all that, how about you giving us your thoughts about India's win primarily? Because it was a seesaw, but ultimately it's India who got the last laugh.
I think it was a very, very satisfying win for India, and there are more than many reasons to say that. Uh, First of all, it was a great cricket wicket. It had something for everyone. So every aspect of the game was in the play. There was bounce, and batsmen could get their runs if they could trust the bounce. If the fast bowlers were, you know, putting little extra effort, they were getting extra bounce. They could make little difficult for the batters, and spinners were getting turned. We saw some of the balls of UG and Akshar like sharply turning from the pitch. So it had something for everyone. And to win a game on a wicket like this is a very, very special thing. Like, it was not that India was chasing anything, 140 or 150. It was 185 plus score on this wicket. And before the show started, we discussed that 180 would be a par score on this wicket, and that's what it looked like. But hats off to the way Indians. I was very impressed with the way Indians chased today, especially after losing the first two wickets of Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul. The kind of maturity Virat Kohli showed, his experience came to the fore, and he held the innings together while Surya Kumar Yadav was going and expressing himself. And what a phenomenal knock by Surya! I'm sure we'll go into details of that later. So it was a perfect game for India in the way, and great to see Virat Kohli doing what he does best. Like in this new team, in this T20 team, that's what his role will be. Like, if we lose two wickets up front, to hold the innings together and allow people like Surya Kumar Yadav or Hardik Pandya to come and get those big runs. And that's what he did perfectly. And Surya Kumar Yadav is on a different planet right now. So a great win India for India.
Absolutely. And you yourself had picked Surya Kumar Yadav in the pre-show. So well done with your prediction. Surya Kumar Yadav was outstanding. And let's delve into the details of this game. Let me tell you and to all my viewers that India have bagged certain records as well in this game after this series and after this win. That is that India in T20I run chases since 2021 have played 14 matches, out of which they have won 13 matches and lost just one. And also, our current captain, Rohit Sharma, becomes the second most successful captain for Team India in T20Is. Most T20 wins as captain for India. The leader, of course, is the legendary Mahendra Singh Dhoni with 42 runs. And second on the list now is Rohit Sharma with 33 wins, and after that it is our Virat Kohli with 32 wins. How good is that? So Nishant, I would like you to tell us, are you satisfied with the Rohit Sharma as a captain? Because Virat Kohli, undoubtedly he shouldered Team India for quite a long time, and then the captaincy shifted to Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, he's a very different kind of captain, and there is certain thing you have to like about him. One thing which I really like about Rohit Sharma's captaincy is that he's always on the move. Like,
Absolutely.
if you look at today's game, at one stage Australia got a great start, but even with Mumbai Indians, like for the past 7, 8 years, 10 years, I have seen the way he uses his spinners. Like, he's ready to play that gamble. Like, today he got Akshar Patel up front in the power play, and it immediately got him rewards. Like, Akshar Patel, again, phenomenal, 3 wickets, outstanding bowling. And most of the bowling he did was in power play, which just shows the kind of faith he has on his spinners, and he's ready to give them the chance. He doesn't feel that you will see Rohit Sharma making very unconventional bowling changes, and that makes him a very, very special captain. Like, he will bring certain bowlers suddenly for 1 over, and you will say, why was it needed? Was he, or like, is he over captaining himself here? And suddenly you see a wicket falling in that over. And today, especially from the fifth over to the 16th over, Indians were outstanding. Like the way they restricted Australia after a good start, and that had a lot to do with the captaincy. So full marks to Rohit Sharma as a captain in this series.
Absolutely, Rohit Sharma is rather outstanding. He's doing a phenomenal job as a captain, and Nishant, I do hope you would agree that everything that right now Team India will be doing, because you know we all will agree that keeping in mind the upcoming World Cup, everything has to be done keeping in mind the upcoming World Cup, and everybody will be working hard. So whatever Team India does, that will definitely be expected as something which Team India is planning to do in the build up to the upcoming World Cup. They would definitely be looking to do very well, because it's about time they did well. And this game, well, the momentum was continuously shifting from India to Australia. At one point, it really looked that Australia have perhaps choked India, but till the end, that last ball, Hardik Pandya finally managed that four. It was unbelievable to see. So let's take a look at what happened in the game today. Nishant, once again, with your predictions, I had asked you, you had stated that you were expecting a 180 plus score on this pitch. That happened. But, let's have you talking a bit neutrally. Were you satisfied with the target set by Australia batting first on this pitch? Or were you expecting it to be a bit less because India were bowling, or it could have been a bit more?
I think Australia will be touch disappointed, and because the kind of start they got, I think somewhere in the middle overs they lost the track. They lost far too many wickets between fifth and 15th over, and I think that's where India got them under control. Otherwise, the score could have been around 220 the way they started. But credit to Indian spinners and Indian bowling attack, which did very well in the 10 overs. And Australia would look back at this match, and they will also look at certain positives, like Tim David. It's very, for a player like him, you would expect, like, it's very easy to go and get runs when you're 100 for two. At one stage, Australia
Absolutely.
was 60 for one, and they were at 117 for six. And then
Absolutely.
he showed a great maturity. It shows that the amount of T20 cricket he plays around the world makes him. He's just not a slogger. He's someone who understands the depth of his game, and he puts some thought in his batting, and that's what we saw today. Like, he picked up his balls, he picked up his bowlers, attacked at the right time to get Australia to that total. So at one stage, Australia would be looking at 220, and at other stage, Australia will be looking at, oh, will we get even 170 here? But I think in the end, they should have defended that total. But credit to the Indian batting today, the way I for once, I'll say I was never panicked about that India will not get those runs. I was aware that, these runs will come some way or the other.
Absolutely. And for Australia, well, definitely there was a collapse, a mini collapse, as you correctly stated. But that 68-run partnership between Daniel Sams and Tim David perhaps, propelled them to that 180 plus score. So, talk us through that partnership. Would you say that at that point of time, Australia were a bit panicky, maybe, or they had it in mind that no, we are going okay, and 180, 185 plus, rather, we could say 185 plus, that's what they got is okay for them, provided that partnership. And Tim David was very good. Unfortunately, he couldn't finish the innings, but he was very good.
He was phenomenal today. As I said, it's just not easy to, bat in these circumstances when you're 117 for six, and you know that if you lose one more wicket, your innings could be over by 150 or 155. But the kind of, in these kind of situation, the main batter has to show the trust in the on the batter on the other hand, which was Daniel Sam or Pat Cummins to come, and they also showed that they can bat and they can bat, and they batted well. So credit to the. It just shows the kind of depth Australia has in their batting right now. Like, there was still Pat Cummins to come, and who can hit, really good. He can hit really big balls. So in all, I think it was a great effort by Australia. They came back, and this was, what I always believe is a good wicket. where you have equal opportunity for batters or bowlers, this is what will happen. Match will keep swinging one way or the other. Look at the kind of, how many times match shifted today. Like at one stage, Australia were 68 for one, with 68 for no loss. It looked like, wow, what a start. And Australia should get 230 here. And then suddenly, because there was something in the wickets, the moment India got the one wicket, they started, putting pressure on the Australian batters. And suddenly at one stage, Australia was 117 for six. And then you thought, okay, I think Australia should get 150. But then there was a late partnership, and they got big 18th and 19th overs, where they got almost 35 runs in 2 overs. So it again proves that a good cricket wicket will more often than not will produce good, exciting cricket.
Absolutely, it would. And Nishant, your prediction was so good that even the selectors couldn't resist themselves in choosing Surya Kumar Yadav as the player of the match in today's game because he was phenomenal. Won't you agree that, after India had a shaky start, let's talk about India's batting. After they had a shaky start, KL Rahul getting dismissed right in the first over, then Rohit Sharma with just 34 runs put on the board, he got dismissed. Then that 104-run partnership between Virat Kohli and Surya Kumar Yadav. Surya Kumar Yadav doing the main anchoring of the innings. How good was he?
Absolutely phenomenal. You know, I can with great certainty say that it was just a fluke that I got it right today. Sometimes you ask us to name the player of the who would be the player of the match, and we just take a name. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what is so great about Surya Kumar Yadav is that he doesn't allow any pressure to build on him, and he keeps playing his natural game. He backs his ability to
Exactly.
play big shots. And
Hmm.
at one stage he was a very one-dimensional cricketer. You could see that he has certain areas, and if you bowl in those areas, he will get runs. But now he has developed it as an all-round player. Today, that six of extra cover, that probably was the shot of the series for me. Like how uh, after Mohammad Azruddin, uh, I think a player who would be known to use his wrists so effectively would be Surya Kumar Yadav. Like the kind of angles he creates. And bowlers are sometimes wondering, there was nothing wrong with this ball, and it was not supposed to go there. How this guy has managed. Like it's one thing to put power in the ball with your shoulder and with your elbow, but it's a completely different thing when you use your wrist so effectively to not only create those angles but also make sure that ball clears the boundary. That is something that is unreal. I have seen a lot of cricket, but this kind of batting, especially in this modern age, is exceptional. Absolutely exceptional.
Absolutely exceptional. That's exactly how Team India were with their performance tonight. And if Surya Kumar Yadav was our player of the match, let's talk about another player who was phenomenal throughout the series, and that is from the bowling department of India, our spinner Akshar Patel. He's our player of the series. He was phenomenal throughout the series, of course, even tonight, wasn't he, Dishant?
You know, we have been talking so much about him that with each passing day, you see his stature is growing in Indian cricket today. And somehow I am getting a feeling that now he has become a go-to bowler for Rohit Sharma. So when like the go-to
Yes.
bowler in the team is कि जब आपको विकेट चाहिए होता है ना, यार इसको लाता हूँ, ये विकेट देगा मुझे. So that is your go-to bowler, and it takes lot of effort to become the go-to bowler of the captain. And Akshar, I think, has acquired that status in this current Indian side. Like whenever you need the wicket, you throw a ball to Akshar Patel. And last in the last game where we saw that the wicket was little damp, he bowled different lines, different trajectory. Today he could see that there was some turn in the wicket, some bounce in the wicket. So he beautifully adapted to the new conditions, new challenges, long boundaries. Exceptional. This is such a great news for Indian cricket team that we lost a vital player like Ravindra Jadeja, and Akshar immediately raised his hand and say, "Don't worry, I'll do this job for you." And he has been doing an exceptional job for India.
He is phenomenal. And even in test cricket, I remember against when England had toured India for a test series, Akshar Patel was outstanding, completely, especially on spin friendly pitches. He was just so good in disbalancing England's batting order. I remember very well. And I can very well recall Joyda saying that, unfortunately, Ravindra Jadeja is going through an injury nursing, but it's good that we aren't going to miss him much because Akshar Patel is proving to be a good replacement option for him.
Yeah, in
So,
cricket, they say that one man's injury is another man's opportunity. And credit to Akshar that he has grabbed it with both the hands.
harsh reality, but it's definitely true. So, Nishant, now, on a very serious note, now I'd like to ask you that, this series has ended, this tour has ended, a fresh new tour is about to start. India will be playing another very good side of world cricket. So, I'll come to that later. But this series that, India have won, if you could just analyze it for us, is India's performance, according to you, giving good vibes or good signs that yes, they are doing it good before the upcoming World Cup? Everything, whatever is Team India is going to do, everything will be with regard to the upcoming World Cup.
Yeah. So I will uh, divide it into three, four parts. The first part is
Please do.
that 2020 is a game of confidence. And this series win, especially after Asia Cup, will give them a lot of confidence. It came against a good side. Their backs were against the wall. They lost the first game. It's a small series, and they had to win two games to stay alive in the series. So they did exceptionally well to come back in this series, and this will give them a lot of confidence. Now that's on the team front. On the batting front, I think KL Rahul got runs. Rohit Sharma is looking in good form. And we can see the old Virat Kohli also. Hardik Pandya got runs. Surya Kumar Yadav played a phenomenal innings today. Dinesh Karthik did what he does best, finished the match in the last game when it was required. So batting also looks more or less sorted. Uh, Indians will be touch disappointed with their fielding. They dropped few catches in Mohali, and also here we saw today also one catch was dropped. So they will look at that aspect. But in game that can happen. I think the only issue India would face right now is that they will like look at their three fast bowlers, like and especially the death bowling. Harshal Patel today, I think it looked like that the team management is giving him chances. And today he looked like that he's getting back to his old self. His last over was very good, despite getting hit on the first ball of that over. Uh, when you know that you have been hit on the first ball of the 20th over, you are immediately under pressure. But after that, he bowled a very good over to end things for India. So that just shows that he's getting back to what he does best, is that bowling in the later part of the innings and controlling those runs with the kind of variety he has. So these are few little things India needs to work upon. I think mostly against South Africa, their main concern would be to, they know their first two spinners, Yuji Chahal and Akshar Patel. They know their six batters. The only area where they need to figure out that who would be their three fast bowlers. Bumrah is a certainty. Now the choice will be between Harshal Patel, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and Arshdeep Singh. And that is where I think India needs to settle that part only.
But you raise a good point, that is fielding. Yes, Team India's fielding has, a bit looked a bit shoddy, maybe because in Australia, as everybody knows, it's a world-renowned fact that grounds are bigger, and fielding has to be, top notch, because after all, Australia are a world class side. They are number one, the defending champions, and number two, they'll be playing the World Cup in their backyard.
Yeah.
So batting, bowling, and fielding has to, primarily fielding, as they say, has to be top notch. So how do you suggest, Team India should look after their fielding?
I think the team management will be already looking into it, and without fussing too much over it, it's just that you keep doing your basics right. Uh, if you look at India's ground fielding, it was today very good. It's a big ground. and the ground
Yeah.
fielding was very good. It's just that
Yeah.
few easy catches have been dropped, but that could be anything, lapse of concentration, a lot of things. So it's a factor of a lot of things. The light comes in your eyes, and these things can happen. But overall, I think it's not a major concern, but I think they will work on it to make sure that these kind of lapses don't happen in a big game where you drop a key player of the other side and that player runs away with the match. And at that time, those things hurt a lot.
Absolutely. As in the words of the legendary first Little Master of India, Sunil Gavaskar, catches win matches. So, with these thoughts, we come to the end of the post match show of the third and the final T20I of this series between India and Australia. It was a series that was tantalizingly poised at 1-1, the first one being won by Australia. The second one was a comeback by Team India. And this T20I was ensured brilliantly by both these very, very quality sides that it was an absolute pot boiler, with Team India having the last laugh. They take home the series with a win in the final T20I by 6 wickets. And to all my viewers, you were hearing my panelist, Nishant Jeet Arora. Nishant, thank you so much for joining and sharing your thoughts with
Thank you
us.
so much, Dani.
And this concludes the Australia tour of India. And we meet again on the 28th of September. Please mark the date when the South Africa tour of India will begin. And that'll be quite a lengthy one. So quite a lot of cricket still remaining to all cricket fans out there. Until then, take care of yourselves, enjoy other games around the world, and it's good night from India. Thank you so much.
Thank you.